doesn't mean anything.
I didn't see it during the time, and then
Yeah,
I saw it, and I was like,
and then you say, "Oh, how did I manage that?"
There's a few like little ones.
Yeah, that's how I
Okay, well,
My name is Annegret Zeller. I was named after my grandmothers, Anna and Greta. So they've combined the name Annegret. I was born in Leipzig, East Germany, May 27, 1941. George Marg, my father, and his father was Alfred.
when was he born?
January 24th, 1906, in Leipzig. He was an airplane mechanic.
What is a happy memory that you have of your father?
I have actually no memory. My father worked early morning hours. He would leave and come back home in the evening. And me, the baby, was already put to sleep, so I never got to sit on his lap. I never got to see him. He was drafted into World War II. In September 1943, he died of a cholera, which is a bacterial disease. 36, 37, in Krakow, Poland. My mother's full name was Martha Leitenberger Marg. My mother was born July 21, 1907, born in Leipzig, Germany. My mother worked in an office for a couple of years. Otherwise, she became a mother right from the start at 16, 10 children altogether.
What is a happy memory that you have of your mother?
Singing in the evening with the family. In the summertime, we would sit outside or inside and would be singing songs, which was nice. Der Spring ist aufgegangen. There were a lot of siblings in the family. They had to watch over me, and otherwise I was on my own. I played with myself, I played outside, I played under the bridge. I had different things to do. I had chores to do. My mom tried to be supportive, but it was hard for her. My mom was strict, but she tried to keep it all together with all these boys and girls that she had to feed. Oh, so many kids.
When did your mother die?
1982.
How old was your mother when she died?
68, 69. I had 7 brothers and 2 sisters. There was Heinz, the oldest, Inge, Käthe, Helmut, Gerhard, Günther, Udo, Manfred, Annegret, and then later came Peter. But he didn't last long.
Why didn't he last long?
Because he turned into an alcoholic. I guess he did not like to live the way he was. Life during the World War II was very, very scary for us. I remember I was, let's say, 4 years old, and the sirens went off and everybody went running into the bunkers. And as I'm walking straight from the river to home, somebody grabbed me and under their arm and dragged me into that bunker, which was, I could feel the people's angst. And so when the doors opened, I ran straight home fast. So I never liked tunnels or dark spaces like this again. Also, people told me that they saw others being shot, and People were just laying there. They said, see the sky over there? It's all orange because Dresden is burning. And that was about 30 miles away. And we were evacuated, and a truck took us to another town, which is called Glauchau. And we got an apartment there, and we lived there. Most everything of value was lost, and my mom had to start from scratch. We were actually very poor at that point. Not many friends, but my brothers who had to watch over me and take me when they went out playing ball and whatever, running around, and maybe a couple of girls here and there, but mostly the boys hung out together, and I was on the sidelines. I did not have many toys as a child. Mostly we played outside, but apparently I was given a nice, lovely doll. It was a tall doll. It was about 3 feet tall. And that doll was very special to me because it was given to me by my grandma. I played with it and I enjoyed the doll very much. It was the only toy I had. And one day a man came to the house with this little girl, my age, and Mom said to me, Annegret, go and get your doll. So I went to get my doll, very proudly showed her off. When she said, oh, give this doll to this girl. And I said, give this doll to this girl? Yeah, okay, she can hold it. And then she was very happy with that doll, and we took the doll, walked away, and the father gave us a big sack of potatoes for it. So we had something to eat. But the sadness stayed with me, as if I was a mother who had to give her daughter away. The meals were very sparse, mostly potatoes. This was our staple. And we made latkes or potato pancakes from it, dumplings from it. Everything was done with potatoes. Meat was very, very seldom, and we would stay in the line in front of the butcher shop when they had a horse that was killed and they sold the horse meat. One day I walked the streets, and next to me, all of a sudden, appeared a big German Shepherd dog. And it was so nice, it walked with me. I brought the dog home with me. There was this boyfriend from my mom and my older brother. They took the dog and killed him. And we had meat the next day, for the next few days. That was sad for me too. It was actually a very sad story because I felt for that dog.
Do you get hungry every time you see a German Shepherd?
No, I do not get hungry when I get a German Shepherd. I was raised in the Lutheran faith, and which I actually enjoyed going to church. It was very peaceful there, and we would sing. Christmas was actually lovely because the older siblings, my sisters and brothers, would decorate the tree inside. And there's one Christmas that stands out where I went to church with my brother Manfred. And they made it so lovely inside. Everything was decorated nice and they had candlelight, and we were singing, it was warm and cozy. And when we stepped outside, it had snowed. And it was very peaceful and quiet, so that my brother Manfred actually took my hand and walked home with me. And that was a very special occasion. Then coming home, Mom had made a soup made with flour. And they would put a little sugar in it. So for dinner. After that, she says, come on down. And we were allowed to go into the living room. The glass door was opened, And there was that tree standing in the corner, and which was really beautifully and nice and warm, and we sang our Christmas songs. Then we got a gift. I think I got a pair of house shoes, slippers. And there was one orange on the table, and Mom opened, I've never seen an orange before, so the orange was peeled by my mom, and it infused the whole living room with that smell, which was so wonderful, orange. And everybody got a sliver of it. I'm not necessarily religious, but I believe I am truly spiritual, meaning that I believe in the universe, I believe in nature, I believe in the God that has created us. I went to school in East Germany. I went to the Volksschule, and it was full of fun for me because I really enjoyed studying. And I was in drama. Actually, I was in the theater shows involved, and I had sports was involved in the swim club. I loved studying. I loved to read. I would walk all the way up the city to the castle, and they had a big library in there, and I would walk around the halls and take my books back home and read them in bed and in the outside whenever I had a chance. There was a teacher there, Mr. Bauer. He was extremely nice and helpful. Mr. Bauer was kind, he was friendly, he liked his job. You could tell that he was supportive and he wanted to teach children. That seemed to be his mission. Mr. Kern was the worst teacher because he was very, very strict. He was an old man, and he did not allow mistakes or talking or any kind of disruption in the classroom. And he would come and get physically with us. He would pull your hair and he would pull your ears out. Then he would have a ruler and he would smack your hands real fast, real hard. And that was really rude, and nobody wanted to be in his class. Because we lived in the eastern Russian part of East Germany, occupied by the Russians, they built a wall. They would not let anybody leave East Germany because they lost too many people. Everybody wanted to be in West Germany. The only person that could go would be a student. I applied for my passport, my visa, and it was granted to me. And I left with my mom to West Germany, visiting my sister Käthe and Inge. There I stayed. I did not return back to East Germany. My mom went there alone. So at 16 years old, there was a spa, and I worked there because there I had room and board. I left home in 1960, but in 1959, my sister's husband had an aunt here in America, and she came to visit. And she said, "So Annegret, what are you going to do with your life?" And I said, "Well, I would like to go to England, be a nanny, learn the language, see something of the world." Tante Martha is the aunt for my brother-in-law, said, "Okay, how would you like to do this in America?" And I was speechless. I said, "What? Well, certainly I would love to do that in America if I had the chance." She says, "Sure, I'll sponsor you." Without hesitation, I agreed and applied for my visa and decided to come to America on the 24th of January 1960. I came to America with the flight Pan Am, and which was really adventurous for me. The first time on a flight and going so far was quite exciting for me. All my brothers and sisters came to see me off. Through an agency, I found this job with this family on the Hudson River was apartment buildings, and they hired me to take care of their 6-year-old boy. They said, oh, there is a young lady upstairs. Her name is Ruth. You should really meet her. She is also German. And so I went upstairs and I introduced myself. And Ruthie hugged me right away. And it was like I was home with my sister. I then applied for a job out in Queens, Forest Hills. And with the family, they had a 1-year-old baby and a 6-year-old boy. So I took care of them. I went back to Germany to visit because I said my 2 years would be finished in January, coming January. But I want to go home for Christmas that year in 1961. And I went home. We had wonderful times with the family and new friends and old friends until the day came and I said, to my sister, I said, I need to go back to New York. Oh no, she says, you want to stay here, right? Because we both have a job at a total chocolate factory. And I said, but I gotta go back. Something has pulled me so strong that I need to go as soon as possible. So I was dating when I was 18. I was 18 years old, 1959. And there was this boy from East Germany. His name was Günther. And he wanted to go steady with me. And I didn't want to go steady with anybody. Yeah, okay, we go out together. No, he was a racing car driver. You can go out for a glass of wine here and there at the cafe and have a cafe. And that's fine with me. And then he was a little pressuring me, and then I said, Günther, from now on, you can write to me in America. And he says, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm going to New York, and I'm going to stay there. And he says, no way. Come on, you didn't say anything up to now. I said, that's okay. I'm telling you now. And so that was the end. Gretchen and I would go to the dances. They had a lot of dances where you meet people. And Germantown had plenty young people, young men and young women there that you could actually hang out with in the cafes. And there was a butcher shop and a konditorei and restaurants. We're not going to be escorted home with these guys that are so crabby.
Did they not have contraception back then?
No, I really know from nothing. I didn't even know where the babies come from. My mother told me nothing while I had my period. To Tante Kate, she told me things, but now I was really scared. I said, nobody comes near me. If I'm fertile like my mother, I'm going to have 12 kids before I'm 20. My friend Marlies and she says, would you like to go dancing tonight? I said, of course we go dancing tonight. It's New Year's Eve. So we went to Yorkville, Germantown. Yorkville Casino is upstairs, overlooking the city. All glass walls and windows. There's a nice bar, white and shiny. You'll never get a chance to dance with these 8 fools here on the table, 8 guys. And all they did was drink and tell each other jokes and laughing and giggling. And we're sitting here, she's sitting here, I'm sitting here. And I look over there, the door opens up and 2 guys come in. There's this tall guy, nice looking, nice and slender, tall and dark. And they're talking and Walter says, Otto, you see the blonde over there? I'm going to ask her to dance now. Are you crazy? She's surrounded by 8 guys. You can't do that. Watch me. Comes over and he makes a turn. I said, oh, he's passing me by. Oh, too bad. And then all of a sudden here on the left-hand side, he says, may I have this dance? And I lift myself up and I went up front and we immediately danced in harmony together. It was so beautiful. Immediately, it was so nice, it was so fitting, so proper, so right. So we danced again and again, and then came the big pause, and the music stopped. And now he says, would you like to come to the bar with me for a drink? And so I said, yes, sure. And he says, we have a glass of champagne, and we're drinking like so. And then he says, this has to be sealed with a kiss. And I said, yeah, I know. It's okay. It's all out in the open. What's with a kiss? And then there was this little kiss. It was a little lingering lips. And I felt myself, ooh, what was this? I'm falling off the chair. Oh my God, what was that? What was this? And I just couldn't believe it. We just talked and talked and talked. And I think my friend Molly, who sat at the table, sent these 8 guys out into the bar. They came in and said, hey, she has to come out with us now to the table. And Walter says, are you with them? No, I'm not. All right, get lost, he says to them. No, she has to come with us now, right now. He says, oh yeah? You want to make something of it? I'll take you one at a time or all at once, here or outside. Where do you want it? How do you want it? And then they just turned their tails and went the other way, went out again. And we just sat there until I gave him my address, I gave him my telephone number, that Walter got it all. And from then on we went ice skating, and he took me to those little different places, and oh, it was just lovely times we had together. It was so nice just to be with him. But then he came summertime, and he wanted to get a little more physical. I waited long enough now. And I said, I can't do this. I'm not some kind, you know me, I wouldn't run away like some schmuck. And so I said, I know, but it's still, I'm afraid, I'm not doing. And then Molly said, do you want to go on this trip through the United States on the Greyhound bus? Well, me, my adventurous nature, I said, yeah. Bus depot, my Walter was standing there, sending me off with one of those kisses. Then when I came back in September, I knocked on his door and said, are you home? Yeah. And then he pulled me in and he says, young lady, you'll never travel anywhere again alone. From now on, we do things together. We're going to Germany for Christmas, and New Year's Eve, we're going to get engaged. That was his proposal. That was it. It was all he thought about it. He had confidence. He knew who he was. He was straightforward. He was honest. He had integrity. And he liked it for me too, because I wasn't just a pushover. For our engagement party, we went on the New Year's Eve of 1963-64. We got engaged in Germany with the family there and everything. And they had fireworks out there. It was nice. Tante Käthe was there, Udo, Günther, Manfred. They all came to that festivity on New Year's Eve. Our wedding was simple. That was now August 8th, 1964. We went to City Hall, and we had a witness, and we signed the papers, and that was it. And then we went to the Stubenprinz for dinner. That was it. Oh, and we were married 51 years. I worked for Tiffany's for 3 years, and then I worked at Bankers Trust for 3 years. We bought a house in Cambria Heights, which was a nice little family house, $18,000. We lived there for 6 years. Sylvia, my daughter, was born, but we wanted one more bedroom. So 1974, we sold the house. Sylvia was 4 years old. She was born in 1970. Our second home was in New Hyde Park, New York, Long Island. $45,000, the second house. We liked everything about that house. We liked our rooms. Everybody had their own room. So we lived there for 47 years. The fondest memory? Oh, Peter Zeller was born in 1975. And the doctor said they never saw such a beautiful baby in their life. He was the most beautiful, perfect baby boy. I I had 2 children. We named Sylvia because Walter thought she was going to be a boy. The firstborn is going to be a boy, and we're going to call him maybe Sylvester, after the grandpa. When the girl came, I said, now that's easy. Now we can call her Sylvia. We named Peter. It was such a nice, strong He-Man name. It was a Peter Walter Zeller. Yeah, I was strict, but in fair. I think it was fair to you guys. Mama Walter's career is elevator mechanic, and he installed these elevators from scratch. Walter had always 2 weeks of vacation for the longest time. Going camping, up and down the East Coast. I put myself through evening school and through cosmetology school, and I made my state board exam, and I opened up my own little business of a hairdresser in my own basement. I really enjoyed that very much. When people walked out and said they feel good, they look good, made me feel good too. In our spare time, we would go for walks, we would go to the pool, we would go to the beach. We had people over, we would play cards, we would play poker. I would make a cocktail hour. I would make a nice dinner and then clean up, and we would play cards until 1 o'clock at night, and then I would serve coffee and cake. We also Walter had joined the Elks Club. We would go dancing once a month. Walter ran for different parties. I ran a couple of parties for the ladies auxiliary. We enjoyed that club a lot for many years. I have 5 grandchildren, a girl named Emma and a boy named Kurt. And in Stamford, Connecticut, my daughter Sylvia has Christian, we have Gabriella and Amanda. I wanted to mention that when I was 12 years old, in geography in school, the teacher talked about New York, Manhattan, and the buildings are reaching up into the skies, into the clouds. And I was just blown away. This cannot be. Is this even possible? I had this wonderful dream, which was actually unforgettable. I'm sitting in a white car that had no roof to it. And it was gliding over these smooth streets. And I'm looking up, and there's these tall, tall buildings, and there's a blue sky, and the sun is shining down on my shoulders. And I think, wow, this is really beautiful. And I'm looking over, but there was a shadow. Somebody's driving the car, but I couldn't tell who it was. Fast forward, 10 years later, we're driving in a red convertible to the smooth streets, which I have never known before because our streets were cobblestone. And here we're gliding through these canyons of buildings, and the blue sky is up there, and the sun is shining down. And I'm getting all emotional because I thought, oh my God, that my dream has come true. This is a real deja vu, as they say. I'm driving through the streets of New York. I see the high buildings, I see the sunshine, feel the sunshine on my shoulders. And I look over, and there's my Walter. And I couldn't speak. And he says, what's the matter, honey? What's going on? What's? I said, I can't speak right now. I'll tell you later, because I have to digest this first. This was so incredible. How my life was coming true.